Hey yo, what up, everybody? I do apologize for that last stream. I did not even have sound. But now I hope y'all hear me. I am testing to make sure y'all hear me. I think we are good to go. Yes, I see the closed caption, so yeah. Okay. Welcome to Savage Shaman Sessions with your host, Savage Soliloquy. That's me. um, if you haven't caught any episodes yet, I encourage you to kind of go back to some of the episodes, subscribe to some of the stuff you watching on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, to kind of stay in touch. Here's Savage Shaman Sessions. Here is really all about healing. We talking about spiritual stuff. We talking about just vibration, um, how to love each other, how to protect your vibration, energy. Man, there's so much. I can go on and on and on, but yeah, let's get to the topic. Yeah, I'm still like sending stuff. That's why y'all see me looking over to the side. But yeah, today we are talking about spirit names and spirit names. Spirit names are something that's known throughout many cultures. Like a lot of people in the Black community, once they get into their spiritual journey or their knowledge journey, they'll go back to their African roots or something to get a name that means something to them, besides the name that was given to them. The name that's given to you, it's a title, it's a right. It was given to you by somebody that put a certain energy into it. So, we honor our names. I honor my name, Dwayne. Dwayne Maurice. Shoot, my name actually means dark black or black black. That's crazy how my name meant that, and the stuff I done went into, the fields I done been in, the fights I done fought, standing up for our people. But to have my name mean dark black, that was like real peculiar. But it's really peculiar once I go into my spirit name. Like, oh my goodness, like I'm about to connect some dots. Like, well, I've connected some crazy dots. Spirit world is real. I actually got this name through a spirit walk. For y'all that don't know what a spirit walk is, it is basically talking to spirits, like being able to see the spirit world, being able to communicate with the spirit world. This is something that is believed and practiced through many cultures throughout the world. But as long as history can pretty much reach back, whether you believe it or not, it's up to you. Um, I would say if you don't spirit walk or you don't, spirit talk, it's gonna be hard to believe it. Just flat out, it's gonna be hard to believe it, especially like if you were brought up in some type of, faith system or book based system or religious based system. Sometimes it's hard to even look at any other knowledge when that's all you've been taught, your whole life. And it's not saying that you've been taught anything wrong, but like us as humans, sometimes we got to realize there's so much knowledge out here that it's kind of hard to get all that knowledge from one perspective. You know, that's why it's good to see other people's perspectives. You know, see other people's interpretations of life situations, and then compare it to your own, compare it to others. That's how you get a overview of something instead of just a simple view of something. You get an overview by comparing, with the knowledge of others, past knowledge, intuition, stuff like that. Um, my spirit name. We're gonna get straight to the spirit name. I don't want to keep y'all here long because I know our people got short attention spans. You know, We need to, that's an energy too that we have to break. Um, Spirit name I was given is Kukiwa Balam. Kukiwa Balam. Kukiwa Balam. Now I'm gonna explain what that means. Well, in the simplest term, it translates to laughing jaguar. Um, that's the simplest form of it. It translates to laughing jaguar. Um, it reads. I had a spiritual reading from a brother not too long ago. He put emphasis on that. My smile, my laughter is my medicine. I mean, it's my tool to heal. It's a healing tool. And through the spirit walk, I was told, laughing jaguar. And it also fits because during my spirit walks, I always see the same symbol. If anybody know about the third eye, what we call the third eye, or some people call it kundalini, and represented by the snake, or like I might be misquoting some stuff, but I'm just like, but it kind of, I get this image of a jaguar. It's literally an image of a jaguar. I get it every time I spirit walk. Same image. Sometimes it's a little bit altered. It's almost in like Mayan type, art, Aztec type art, line drawing. And sometimes I get the vision of, three bulls, you know. But this vision about, the jaguar, it leads back to like some old ancient spiritual stuff. Like if you know anything about like Mayan culture, Aztec culture and all that, but basically the jaguar was like the most important animal deity in the culture. It they have had these things called jaguar warriors. These were the elite warriors of their people, but they cherished the animal and they cherished the spirit of the animal or the spirit of the jaguar deity, and it represented a lot of things. Um, Represented things like freedom. The jaguar is like fearless. Cougars, panthers. They're fearless. It represents this fearlessness in you that you're always ready to pounce. You're ready to pounce at any minute. It's it reads because I have a real crazy anger issue. That I deal with through different ways, but I'm learning like you know through this connection with this jaguar spirit animal, as some would say. Spirit totem. That's like one of the elements of the jaguar. That fire. That's actually the element. Associated with the jaguar. The jaguar spirit, fire. Riled up intensity. Fierceness. Like I definitely hold a lot of that. That's why I get into it with a lot of people. Over the years, I've gotten into it with a lot of people just because when I feel like a personal attack or something, I know I do. I pounce. Like I pounce just like a jaguar, like and I point out what it is, like because that's another um, trait of the jaguar spirit animal, like being able to see things, having this oversight. Jaguars in the wild, you might catch them in a tree. They're in the tree looking at the whole surroundings, about to pick off what they're gonna eat. It's just something about this oversight, this night vision, that's a sight of that you're a night animal, you're a night creature, You know, you work better at night, and I do. I definitely work better at night. So most nights I'm probably up 1, 2, 3 in the morning working on stuff. Early morning, I'm just like where a zombie. And my energy kicks in once the sun goes down. That's where a lot of my energy kicks in. That's just part of me, you know, and what I'm learning is part of this, you know, connection with this spirit, exotic beauty. You know, I ain't gonna toot my own horn, but I'm gonna have some gas. but no, it's like it's really like a display of beauty, a display of grace. You know, if you ever seen a jaguar just in its natural habitat, they're such graceful animals. And it's just like it shows in their presence, and this is an attribute of that. Some of the other things are like telepathy and transformation. These are some things I experience on my spirit walks, um, with plant medicine, of course. But you know, some of these things are hard to explain unless you know you kind of go through one of these ceremonies. You know, you can't. A lot of this stuff you can't even really explain to people. It's an energy thing, and when you explain when you understand energy, it's kind of easier to understand kind of what I'm saying right now. Um, Jaguar represents valor, bravery, you know, determination, you know, eagerness to get his goal, eagerness to get at your goal, eagerness to get at its prey. You know, I gotta say, I that's part of that's been a part of my life. Like sometimes I feel like to my detriment. Sometimes, you know, because I didn't understand that energy. At my last event, I freaking passed out. You know, I was so determined and so dug in that I didn't think about food or any of that. I was just about getting the goal done, getting it done, and I passed out. You know, I'm learning how to control my energy a little bit more. You know, how to defend my energy and protect it so that I don't, you know, poof out, pass out. You know, I did. You know, that determination is a good trait, but you got to know how to control the energy with it because you know you can't burn yourself out. You burn yourself out, you're not gonna have the energy to be productive anywhere. You know, you're gonna be open to bad energies. And say, and like I said, my the spirit name that I got was Kukiwa Balam. Um, Balam also being the name representing the you know the jaguar god of the Mayans, and it actually like at times it was used to represent multiple gods, and it was also the title of a priest. You know, it was a high title in their place. This was the title of a priest. Anybody to know? I know I'm an ordained minister. You know, I don't practice the Christian faith anymore. You know, I you know I don't know what to say. I practice. I just you know go where the knowledge leads me. You know, and I think there's knowledge in all the religions. You know that you can pick apart and use for your self growth. You know, and that's the part I embrace with the Balaam. You know, Balaam was the Lord of fields and plantations. You know, fruits and nourishing the earth. Um, Also, he's the protector of animals, plants, and of the weather, the natural habitat. Yeah, that reads. That definitely reads with me. I can't live without my garden. You know, sun bathing, sound bathing, just going out in the morning and just listening to the birds and the chipmunks and the squirrels and all the other little animals just buzz, the insects buzzing, and it just does something to you, man. Just like it does something to your soul. I'm gonna try to keep it moving. But this is something to think about when you going on your spiritual journey. Like, this ain't just me just coming up with stuff. These are old practices that you can tune into through meditation, through plant medicine, through prayer, through different different ways. You can definitely dig into this polarity of the jaguar, the night yin, night creatures. In astrology, they would say we ruled by the planet Mars, the war planet. You know, warriors. That's been a crazy part of my life, though. I've always been like that peaceful guy, but I've always trained for war. When we was young, I was like, maybe had to be like 12, 13, playing with pistols and walking around with, vest, with bulletproof vest on, and just like kind of was a little bit, ruthless on the war side, and as I grew older, I had to get out of that. I'm still like, war intent. I still keep a pistol with me, and stuff like that. And, I still keep some type of defense on me. Pepper spray, tasers, like, go to the range, stuff like that. Just to practice self defense. Like, I do find peace in it. I find peace in practicing self defense. That's one of the characteristics of the jaguar. And I embrace that. um, Kiwa Balam. Remember that name. Say it's our symbol. The symbol of the jaguar is the oak tree. This symbolizes like our sturdiness and being rooted in a principle. You know, our stick to itiveness. As we would say. Sticking to something, like, no matter what. Almost like I said at the last event, I stuck to it till I passed out. And even as I was passing out, my mental took me to the point I still was trying to take care of everybody else. Even though they eventually had to take care of me. But I like I say, I'm learning how to use that energy. How to stick to something and go through with it, because that's something that's hard to do, and it's not common. There are a lot of people that don't go through with stuff. It's not common for people to go through with stuff. You would think it is, but it's really not. Especially here in Cleveland, and some of these other urban cities, some of these other, places. I think it's just not even just the hood. Like, it's people have problems sticking to things, and the people who do stick to things, them are the most successful, most wealthy, people. That's just how it is. I believe that. Um, Kiwa. That's Swahili, It's actually Swahili for laughing, which I'm always doing, Attributes, the air, lightness, not being too heavy on anything. And I do feel that, like, like that's a principle that can help you in life. You know, like, don't jump down people's back so quick. Don't don't be so heartbroken from people. And I go through that. I go through that. Like I say, I'm represented by the Jaguar. I'll be ready to pounce, but it's not always time to pounce. Times we just, we gotta be light. We gotta be really, really light with people. You gotta minister to them. Can't always discipline people. It's a time to discipline, but sometimes you have to be more light with people. You gotta show a little love. A little understanding with people. That's all that is. That's the principle of the you know Jaguar, the lightness. Some of these other attributes kind of go into the metaphysical realm, as far as like levitation, telepathy, astral journeying, spirit walking, invisibility, being able to blend in with a crowd, and kind of absorb the energy of it. It's a lot that goes with that invisibility. That's one of the aspects of it, being able to blend in with anybody. You might have some of these attributes. You might be able to blend in with some of the grittiest people in the grittiest hood, and you might be able to, at the same time, same day, different hour, you jigging with, pastors and priests. Next hour, next jug, you jigging with scholars. It's that's sort of like a invisibility. Like people can't pinpoint you. Like they're gonna try. But they just can't pinpoint you. Like they're gonna try to pinpoint you with one characteristic or the other, but the jaguar got so many characteristics, and the jaguar blends with its surroundings. That's a word of knowledge that that can help you. You can blend in with your surroundings, and take in the knowledge and help your surroundings. You can help build your surroundings, and you can move on to the next thing, help build that. It's just about being, flexible. Let's see. I'm just go through a little bit more, and then we're gonna get up out of here. But laughing jaguar, this jaguar spirit in ancient culture, in the Mayan culture, and all that was a shapeshifter, a night creature, night spirit, represented by the color black. Which was represented by, through Balaam, through the obsidian mirror that would be represented on his chest. The blackness. I don't know if y'all see that, but he would have a black mirror, like these were called smoking mirrors, from Mayan times. It was their technology for a mirror. It was made out of black obsidian, which is very reflective, and this was a color representative of of the spirit. And if anybody knows about the color spectrum, like black is like all the colors, it's like it's all the colors of the spectrum in one. Sometimes we don't understand that because we just see black. And a lot of us think of it as not a color, but actually it's all the colors. It's really like more spectrum than like a rainbow that's in black. It's just so thick with all the spectrums that is like, that's what we see. And it's a very powerful color. Black is a very powerful color. Represents like fearless spirit, and through my spirit walks, I found out that, a lot of what I do to get in tune with it, it's all about like rhythm, movement, sound, basically vibration, all the things that have to do with vibration. And although, I started, I ain't gonna say I started them with plant medicine, because I used to kind of do them with when I was, a minister in the Christian faith, through like these deep prayer trances. Like, now that I spirit walk, I recognize that it was that same vibration. It's like, it's weird, man. It's so hard to explain, and it's like, it's so scary at first, because it's like you basically in there like, man, motherfuckers gonna think you crazy. But it's like, it's more evidence for this than like mostly anything people can come with, for real. It's literally written on the walls. It's carved in the stones in Egypt. It's carved on the walls here in America. Like, it's evidence for it everywhere, and that's what secures me. Where I'm like, okay, I'm not just going crazy, because spirit walking it can make you feel like you're going crazy. Like they say they say like the jaguar spirit can be like also like a trickster spirit in there. You know, be tricky with your mind. You know, and that's where like the laughing jaguar comes in. You know, it's sort of like a trickster, but it kind of riles you up. You know, to do what you got to do. I'm not gonna go too deep into that. You know, I will probably have like some private subscription stuff that I'll go deep into that because that's not for everybody. You know, that's not for everybody. So I'll find a way to get that to the people who need to get it. But an aspect of the spirit, the jaguar spirit, you know, is that it can create abundance out of the air. Create out of the air. And if you're an artist, you might be being led by the jaguar spirit. If like you got a real creative spirit, you might be being led by that jaguar spirit. It's through more and more research, I'm learning that it's so many spirit animals that people claim that they've had or experienced. From turtles to rabbits to bulls and basically like almost any animal you can think of. Like some people seem like fish and these are people that are seeing it through meditation, and you can kind of compare it with like ancient paintings and stuff that are like kind of just coming out through the technology of YouTube and electronic files. You're able to see stuff that you've seen in meditation, and that's what I've experienced. That all of the images that I've seen in meditation can be compared to an ancient image, and not just Mayan. Like I've had many images of like Mayan imagery that like I've had I had a slim knowledge of Mayan culture because I was a Christian. All of that was like devil stuff to me. Like I just got the basis of it. I learned all the bad stuff about it so that I could debate it. With my apologetics. That's why people get mad when they debate me because, like, I studied to become a professional debater because I was a Christian. And as a Christian minister, I would have so many people from different faiths come up to me and just try to crush my faith. That's why I try not to crush people's faith, but like, I still got to keep it real about religions and like stuff that happened through religions. But I try not to personally go and attack anybody's faith because that can be a harsh thing, but sometimes it's needed. But being attacked so much, it caused me to be more serious about the study of it. And the more I studied it, I studied that there were older writings that kind of coincided with everything that was in there. So I wanted to see it. Even though I was a minister, a Christian minister, I wanted to see it. And trying to prove them wrong, it just pulled me in. It pulled me so far in, basically like a rabbit hole. Man, it pulled me into a rabbit hole of knowledge, and it led to ancient practices, which some of them I practice now. And me being on the scholar end, I use the same tools that I used in Cleveland State University, in Tri-C, the same tools they teach you how to study and to prove something, hypothesis and all that. That's what I've been doing. Like with my notes, the drawings, I've made sure I've drawn almost every vision I've seen, I've drawn it. And after drawing it, I try to research something similar. Every time I'm finding it. And every time it's leading to these same characteristics that I got from this jaguar spirit. And it's actually like it's a similarity through like different cultures. Oh my goodness. But I had just put some notes in here, man. That I just came across. But like it's different like gods and culture that coincide Like but this spirit like is like a messenger spirit, and it's a it says a spirit that leads the dead to, you know, where they need to be. And in different cultures, they're called different things. You know, oh man, I'm trying to think of the one name that I put it down here. I want to make sure I get this right. You know, psychopomp. It's a psychopomp, which is a spirit that leads the dead to their destination. And you know, in Greek mythology, it was Hermes. Egyptian mythology, it was who was Anubis. Anubis. It was Anubis. And these spirits, these ancient spirits, they would lead the dead to their destination. We all know the stories and in the movies. We see it with the boat and the Grim Reaper, or the guy that looks like the Grim Reaper, paddling across to take the people wherever they got to be. If you know anything about Dante's Inferno, it kind of, you know, kind of that imagery. But there's a comparison with like Hermes, which is the god of the, you know, god of shepherds. Anubis, the god of death, protector of the dead. You know, who also color was black, representative of black. You know, just like the spirit we've been talking about. And he's the ruler of the nine bowls. It's number nine. Numerology, some other crazy stuff. Like I said, it's a rabbit hole. But the number nine is associated with all the spirits that I just named through different cultures. You know, they all got a different association with these same numbers, these same colors. You know, that's something you can't ignore. Let's talk about like some of the elements. We talked about the lightness, the levitation, astral journeying. You know, like they're more. The spirit is more associated with shamanism. You know, shamanism. They use nature to kind of take themselves into a realm where they can heal others. Where they can, you know, where they first heal themselves from a sickness or ailment, and then through this experience, they're able to heal others. That's generally the basis of a shaman through different cultures. Almost every culture we know has a root in shamanism. Jaguar, we talk about night vision, invisibility, moving in silence, you know, but being able to jump and make a big impact, pouncing, you know. But Lime, he gives invisibility and clear vision to people in darkness, you know. In this world, I guess, let me put it like this: there's darkness and lightness. With most cultures, that's usually a reference to knowledge. You know, light being knowledge, darkness being like, you know, not knowing, ignorance, not being able to see forward, you know. But, you know, those with this jaguar spirit, you know, they're given a gift to see through darkness, the gift of knowledge, basically. The jaguar spots represent the stars, you know, the night stars, nighttime. And through my spirit walks, I tend to get spots. Every spirit walk I've had, I get these spots all on my face when I, you know, I like I say, we're not gonna go too deep in it, but there's a mirror ritual, you know, where you looking deep inside yourself. And the jaguar, I get spots on my face, and it's crazy. I know the people who don't believe in it really like, oh, that's really crazy. But you know, this is ancient knowledge. This is ancient knowledge. This ain't that's like I got it through my spirit walks, but then after my spirit walks, I generally go research it and see if anybody else said the same thing. So it's like, okay, and yeah, I got a lot of people that said the same thing. Uh, Another element that is the god of war and fight, you know, meaning that, you know, like I say, ruled by Mars, strategic and fearless, you know, like a jaguar. Jaguar creeps. If a jaguar is coming to kill you, you never gonna know it's about to happen. you just know you're getting pounced on. That's generally like you know, the characteristic of Jaguar people. They're usually calm, mild mannered people that usually blow up intensely. like like usually like I mean blow up intensely, like almost, scary, like, and then people are kind of scared because they like, how did this person go from, mild mannered Bruce Banner to the Incredible Hulk? Like, right. One of these next episodes, we're gonna talk about Marvel. Marvel uses a lot of old spiritual stories. That's why it appeals to people so much, because they're using old ancient spiritual stories and kind of creating a story with it, and it's very entertaining. But we're gonna talk about that on the next one. Uh, this spirit, fruits and grains were offered as homage. Meaning, like I say, this was a deity of the fields, of plantations, fruits and grains. It, people know I don't eat no meat. I always had a problem with meat since I was a little kid. Literally, like, I would pick like little pieces off the meat, and my brother would eat the rest of it. He would love, like, when we had certain meals, because he knew I wasn't gonna eat it, so he literally just would sit by me waiting for me to be done, and he'd tear it up. Uh, that's a characteristic, that you have an affinity for, like, fruits, grains, nature. That's affinity of some other, a lot of other spirit animals too, but this is the jaguar is sort of like that primary spirit of nature, like, being in tune with nature, being in tune with the vibration of nature, being in tune with music, sound itself. That's a major characteristic of the jaguar. The intense an intense relationship with nature, or you say a bond with nature, a bond with certain animals, just being able to find a certain pleasure out of just stuff like looking at an ocean, or just nature, just being able to calm your soul, your spirit. Yeah, but the jaguar has a powerful energy of safety. Usually, like, if you had a jaguar spirit, you're very protective. Might be kind of like in the modern world, legality. You might be It might be a detrimental reactions. Like I say, jaguars are always ready to pounce. That being like, you might be that person that takes somebody out, not even thinking about it, and be locked, crimes of passion, stuff like that. But that's if you don't know how to control your energy, if you're not balancing your energy, that can be very detrimental to, like, a jaguar led person. You know, that's gonna be where most of your troubles in life basically coming from, because you very reactive. Trust me, you're very reactive. I'm very reactive. Sure. Like, that's the crazy thing about the spirit world, man. You be ministering to yourself. Uh, yeah, we talked about the oak, but let's dig into the oak. Like, the oak being a symbolism about its sturdiness, its strength, its protection. How the oak trees, they protect all the animals and stuff from the weather and certain predators and stuff like that. It's a protective force, and it also goes throughout history. You know, like the tree of life. I ain't even gonna try to pronounce the Nordic tree. Uh, what is it? Yggdrasil. Yggdrasil. But that's the Nordic tree of life. If you ever watched the Thor movies, that tree was represented by the nine realms. When he talked about the nine realms, and you've seen the tree, and it just kind of branched off to all these different realms. That's old spiritual stuff. That's why I say Marvel. Marvel real tricky with that. Like, Marvel, it really hasn't created too much of anything original. They've used old spirit stories and old biblical stories. Old Egyptian metal netter stories. Man, it's just we gonna have a deep episode on that. Um, I know through certain cultures, it's represented by a pyramid. The spirit represented by a pyramid also, which represents, like spirit, mind, and body. You know, that's stretched through other cultures and stuff like the Trinity in Christianity. You can kind of say that's your mind, body, and spirit. The mind being the Holy Father, the body being Jesus Christ, and spirit being the Holy Spirit. That's repeated throughout different cultures, different religions, like all throughout the world. People that never had contact with each other, or at least we think they never had contact with each other. Um, like I say, it's also most of the gods is God of the number 9. Numerology, that's something I'm still. I would like one of my numerology people to explain that for me, dig a little deeper into that. Like I say, master of the underworld, uh, the divinity that expresses inner strength of the earth. Meaning that connection with the earth, like you really, if you got that spirit, you kind of represent the earth for real. Like its strength is vitality, it's vibration itself. Which is to grow and to feed. That's the vibration of the world, to grow and feed. That's why it grows plants. That's why everything in the world is there to feed something, there to give life to something. The air, you know, some people believe, air is the spirit itself. Spirit is actually a translation of the word breath. You know, it's just so deep, man. Like, I think that's all we got for today. I don't want to keep y'all too long, but I think this was a very deep episode. Uh, did I even say the name? I didn't even say the name of the Mayan name of the spirit. Uh, I hope I don't get it wrong, but it's Tez Catlipaco. Tez Catlipaco. Take that as you want. That's Tezcatlipoca. You know, he had a rivalry with his brother uh, Quetzalcoatl, which they call the rival divinity. Uh, we're just gonna say Tez and K. But Tez, the story is Tez became, he elevated and became the sun. You know, became the sun to give life to the earth. Give life to everything here. And his brother K, didn't like it, so he grabbed his mallet and he cracked him out the sky. Tez didn't like that, so Tez became a mighty jaguar and he destroyed the world. Which at that point, the story goes that the world was filled with giants. Uh, and Tez came down, turned to a jaguar, and killed these giants off. And the story goes on. It's a battle that goes on about who's gonna be the sun, who's gonna give life to the earth. And it goes through different generations. One of the stories says that uh, at one point the world was destroyed again, but some people escaped and they became monkeys, and like they became like the animals of the world, and some of the animals of the world. And it's a deep story, but that's the more Mayan. That's like the Mayan history, some of their tales. Um, yeah, it's and like they say like he destroyed the world like through his roar. He had the mighty roar that's associated with volcanoes, rock slides, stuff like that, natural disasters. Um, when his anger like boosts up, but everybody got their spirit journey. Like For some people, you're going to go through your spirit walk, you're going to see what you're associated with, whether it's a plant, animal, what spirit you associate with, where you fit in, whether it's going to be in a religion based system or whether, it be a nature based system. Like you're going to find your way if you seek it. If you honestly seek it, sometimes it's hard for us to understand how to be honest with ourselves because you know what is it, we got this we defend ourselves, you know what I'm saying, like we make ourselves look good, for our own mental. Nobody wants to go around like, oh, I'm messed up all this, some faiths kind of go that way, but you can create your own vibe. You can, I mean, well, no, you can manage your own vibe. You can, once you dig deeper into vibrations and healing tools and meditation and just flat out just like anger management, like sometimes you might just have to talk to somebody. Once you kind of dig into them, man, you'll be able to control your level more, control your mood more. It'll be less ups and downs. Your vibe won't be like this. It'll be more, you know what I'm saying? Get some more of that. Like, yeah, vibe right, y'all, man. That's all I got for today. This is your boy Savage for Savage Shaman Sessions. I think that's all I have. I had to start writing down so I don't go off topic. Oh, but yeah, remember, Kiwa belong. you know, you call on me, man. I might be in your dreams. um, yeah, I'm gonna leave y'all with this picture. This is a picture like of different visions that I've had put together, and you know, some of it I polished up with some of my knowledge, like the arrows in the hand and the obsidian chest piece, because after looking at that, I want y'all to look up the Mayan jaguar god. I'm telling you, man, some of this shit be blowing my mind. Like, I'm gonna let you see it again and look up the Mayan jaguar god. Yeah, there's a jaguar on his head, like a paint strip across his face. The bulgy eyes and all that stuff. Um, I can't show y'all too many pictures because pictures might scare some of y'all. But I'm out, man. Much peace, much love. Vibe right. Um, Make sure you share this with somebody spiritual. Turn on some music. Vibe out. Peace.